Welcome back to a Faster PC live support. I know you've been waiting all week for this show. Well, you don't have to wait any longer. Get excited. This time, this is exciting. We're actually going to be helping people resolve their computer problems. We may help you resolve your computer problems. So give us a call, 772-340-1590, 772-340-1590. Or you can head over to our Facebook or YouTube video. Either go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes. Go to YouTube. YouTube channel is kind of new, and we don't have as many likes over there, but get over there and you can watch the show there as well. Or you can head to our website at fasterpc.com. We have links to both our Facebook page and our YouTube channel where you can watch this show in its entirety. And you know what? If you're driving down the road, you're doing other things, you're not able to watch right now, you'll be able to watch the show in its entirety at your convenience after the show is over. So, but if you have a computer question, if you have a computer problem, if something's not working, now is your chance to get your problem solved for free. Give us a call, 772-340-1590, and let's see whether we can help you on this show resolve your computer problem. Also, we do have technicians that are standing by in the shop ready to resolve computer problems. And we'll be there today until 2, but you don't have to wait until then. Remember, computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
That's right, you do, and we are back. We are ready. I know you've been waiting all week. Hey, it's exciting, but we're back. We're ready to answer your questions, ready to help you resolve your computer and technology problems as well. And we're going right to the lines here today. We have Randy on the line. Welcome to a Faster PC live technical support, Randy. How can we help you today?
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Yeah, I had an issue with that blue screen of death stuff that pops up.
Okay, what is it that pops up?
The blue screen of death.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so blue screen errors are caused most of the time by hardware problems. And sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to figure out if the hardware problems aren't too big or noticeable or don't happen all the time. But we do have hardware diagnostics that we can run on the computer, and we can see what's going on. One of the biggest culprits is a bad hard drive, and bad RAM can do it as well. But a bad hard drive is more likely because you have with a traditional platter hard drive, you have moving parts, and those moving parts can go bad. You also have magnetics, and you have electronics. So any of those can go bad. The moving parts are probably the most common problem, and we actually had a computer here that had an SSD drive that was having a blue screen, and
I had SSD too.
yeah, so SSDs rarely go bad, but occasionally you might have a problem with them. So
it's fairly new too, but I don't, it's I've tried everything even suggested on forums and all kinds of stuff, and nothing's working. I did.
Okay, the mic dropped out a little bit. I don't know if you can repeat after I did.
Sorry.
Your mic dropped out a little bit. Sometimes there's a little bit of a audio feedback that happens. So we heard I did, and then your mic dropped out. So if you could repeat what you said after that.
Okay, I did try everything like suggested in forums.
Yes.
And all searches that I've tried, and nothing's working. I mean, everything from hard drive to, like you said, the other. And I've done memory, I've done any drivers, I've done everything, and nothing seems to work.
Now,
and you
When you
practice,
say
practice
you've
on.
done memory, have you tested the memory or have you removed the memory and replaced it with other memory? What have you done with the memory?
I've switched them around. I've tried one at a time.
Okay.
I've tried so many different things. I'm trying to remember everything I've done, but nothing seems to work. I
Yeah.
make sure drivers are updated, everything.
Yeah. So switching the memory out and trying one at a time can, be like let's say if you had one module that's bad, that would eliminate that issue. We do have some diagnostics where we can run and we can test whether the RAM is having an error or not. And sometimes the errors can be sporadic. We actually had one customer who did karaoke and and it was either karaoke, it might have been a DJ work, but he was having an issue where his computer would lock up, not all the time, but every now and then. You can imagine if you're in the middle of a, you know, the bride's first dance or something like that, and all of a sudden your computer crashes, that could be a major issue. So we actually tested his
But
computer for a week, and we found one error in that week, and that's it. But that's if that error happens in the middle of a big important song, that's a major issue. So we actually were able to troubleshoot that. It did take some time, but we were able to determine what was happening. Most problems we can find more quickly than that. But occasionally, if the problem's not clear, it can takes a little bit of time. The problem we had with this one system here, we actually tested. I didn't think the drive was bad, but we actually put another drive in. Everything worked. Ran heart burn-in test in Windows, which really stresses out the system, and no errors, and everything was working just like it should. And then what we actually ended up with is when the customer approved a clean install, backup and clean install, we took the drive to another computer with an adapter. It was an NVMe SSD drive. And we have an adapter for that plugs into a USB port, and we uh, were attempting to access the data, and the drive was either not coming up or coming up as not formatted, and one of the chips on the drive itself was getting very hot. And we tried the drive in multiple adapters and also multiple computers and experienced the same problem. And so that drive, which is very rare for that to happen, was having an issue. And it's odd how his computer would actually start to boot and look like it was actually going through the process, and then it would just stop. So the drive was working to a certain extent, but not fully. And because of that, he was having an issue. Again, we never really would have suspected an SSD drive, especially one that's not very old, to be the cause of the issue, the cause of the problem. But
mm,
in that case, it was. Um, but we can definitely test that. That really is what you need to do is to have hardware diagnostics run on the system to see what is causing the issue. And I know
mm,
some computers actually have some hardware diagnostics built into to the system,
mm.
and that can help you to some extent. But it doesn't totally it doesn't do quite as good of a job as the diagnostics that we run. We have multiple different diagnostic programs that we can run on the system, and different ways
Tell
that
me
we can
that
run
even
diagnostic.
if that would run, why it interrupts that. Every time you try to do, I even tried to do a clean install of Windows 10,
Okay.
and it interrupted that.
Yeah, so if you're trying to
Wow.
do a clean install and you're getting errors, then you definitely have some hardware issues that are going on that are causing that.
what I was going to try and do was, like I said, I formatted the SSD. It's a Samsung.
Yes.
And I was going to try and reinstall Windows 7 on it, which it originally came with the setup disk that came with the computer.
Right.
And hopefully reset everything that way, hardware-wise, everything, and then if everything worked fine, then I'd put Windows 10 back on it. But
yeah, I'd be surprised if it works. But it's worth a try.
I formatted it in Windows, and
Yes.
I can't get it to set up to I could put Windows on it.
Yeah. Basically, what you need with Windows, to get Windows 7 or Windows 10 or Windows 8, you need a bootable USB. You can also have it on a CD, and you can boot from the CD, and you can go have it installed that way. That's another way you can do it. So, but I would be surprised. It's worth a try, but I would be very surprised if it works. So
I've heard some people try to do it as a last resort, so that's where I'm kind of at now.
Yeah. And if all else fails and you need some help determining what is wrong with the system, we can definitely help with that. We have the diagnostic software that we can run on the system to determine what is going on there. You're listening to a Faster PC radio here, heard every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour right here on this station and stream live to our Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, ready to answer your computer questions. So you know what? If you have questions, well, we can't answer them unless you ask them. Our number, if you want to have your computer questions answered, is 772-340-5090, 772-340-5090. Also, you can type your questions into the comment section of our live Facebook video that's happening right now over at Facebook. You can go there, search for Faster PC. We have almost 23,000 likes, or you just go to our website, afasterpc.com, click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. We're here. We're ready to answer your computer questions, and we'll be right back to do that. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC, or a Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie, and on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC has been here, and as Florida begins to open for business,
The Faster PC.
will remain open to repair computers 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 Saturdays. We offer curbside drop-off and pickup and on-site service where a Faster PC can come to you. And we can fix many computer problems remotely without requiring any in-person contact. A Faster PC is also working to help our customers set up remote access so that employees can continue to work and be productive from home. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 next to the new Dollar General in Port St. Lucie, and on the web at
www.afasterpc.com.
that's www.afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. Again, that's 772-878-5978. Even in times like these, when you have computer problems,
You need a Faster PC.
welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. I know you've been waiting, a whole few minutes for the next segment of today's show. If you've been waiting to give us a call so that you can get your computer question answered, well, now's a great time to give us a call. Give us a call. The number here at the studio is 772 340 1590. 772 340 1590. Of course, if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to call and be on the radio. This is your opportunity, by the way, if you do want to be on the radio. But if you're a little bit shy, maybe you don't want to be on the radio, you don't want people to hear what you say, then you can actually head over to our Facebook video. It's a live Facebook video going on right now. You can head over there. Just go to www.afasterpc.com. Click on the link to listen to a Faster PC radio. That'll take you to our Facebook page. Or you can go to Facebook, search for a Faster PC. You'll find our page. We have between 22 and 23,000 likes. You'll be able to actually get over there, scroll down on the page a little bit. You'll see the live video, and you can type your question into the comment section. Now, your question doesn't have to be on what we've been talking about. It can be on any topic as long as it's computer related. So head over there and you can be on the show, or just give us a call, 772-340-1590. We did also want to remind you that we have technicians standing by ready to resolve computer problems. Our number in the shop is 772-878-5978, and we are located at 7190 South US 1 in Port St. Lucie. Again, the number is 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
Yes, you do. And you know, with the last caller that called, hardware problems are tricky sometimes. And they definitely are. Those blue screen errors, they can be frustrating. But you know, when you have those issues, you know, you definitely want to find out what is causing that issue. You know, blue screens don't just happen. And what are we talking about with a blue screen error? What we're talking about is where you're booting up the computer. I mean, most people have seen this, but some people maybe you haven't. Maybe you don't know. So we're going to try to explain all these terms. So you're booting up your computer, and all of a sudden you see actually a blue screen that comes up and says that there's an error and Microsoft was not able to boot up and that it needs to reboot. Well, one of the things that that happens with blue screen errors is the you know, basically you're getting a hardware issue that is causing a problem in most cases. Sometimes it can be software, but most of the time it's actually physical hardware that's failing, and could be, you know, most likely, like I was saying, is a hard drive, could be RAM, but those are the most likely culprits. And we're going right to the lines here. We have Ron on the line. Welcome to a Faster PC live technical support. How can we help you today?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My wife on Christmas Day misplaced her computer, and I think possibly it went in the trash with the wrapping. So I bought her a new computer, and she plays Farmville. And the problem is she doesn't remember her password, so she's 10 years of work down the tubes. How do I install Farmville, whatever the name of the game is, and try to re-get that password, or am I just out of luck?
So is she playing Farmville through Facebook?
I believe she is. That is correct.
Okay, so then I believe that the only username and password you would need is for Facebook, and it can be tricky. It can take some time, but you can reset a Facebook password. What you need to know is what the username was, and the username is going to be tied to either an email address or a phone number. And so once you get the correct email address and or phone number, then you need the correct password. If you don't know what the password is, then you can actually go through a password reset process. Now, with a password reset process, They can send you an email to the email address or a text to the phone number. There may be some security questions that you can answer. If none of that works, and hopefully one of those works, because that's the quickest way to get into it. But if none of that works, with Facebook, you can go through a process to prove that you are, or your wife in this case, is who she says she is, and that requires sending in a copy of the driver's license. Of course, hopefully the username was actually her name, because I know some people use pseudonyms when they're on Facebook because they don't really want people to know who they are, so they'll use a fake name. So, but you can hopefully the name will match the ID, and then Facebook can let you back in, let her back into the account. It can, like I said, take about a month. I actually had an issue where my mom had an issue with Facebook, and we had to go through that process. We had to send a copy of the driver's license, I believe. We've done this for other customers as well, where some of our customers aren't too technical and aren't quite as taking a picture with a camera is, and then sending it to Facebook is a little bit tricky for them. So we've helped some of our customers do that. But basically, it's taking a picture of the driver's license. If the other, sending a code or a link to the email address or to the phone, um, if that doesn't work, or answering any security questions doesn't work, then that will work. It does, again, it does require maybe you know, can take up to a month to get
Sure.
back into it, but it is possible to get back into it. And the thing is, if she's has all this history in the game, it would be worth the effort, even if it does take that
Absolutely.
long.
Okay, well, I thank you for your courtesy, and I don't know how long it's been, but I dealt with you. And I may be wrong on this. I'll bet you 20 years ago, I brought a computer up to you. You guys straightened it out for me, but you guys do a great job, and I appreciate your courtesy.
All right, thank you very much. And if you ever need our help, we're definitely here. So we were here 20 years ago. We're still here today. So
Sure. Okay, thank you, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
all
Bye-bye.
right, thank you. And we've been doing this show for now for well, it's like we look at this. It's 22 and a half years. So we actually started in I think December of 1999. We started, and we were just doing, like, we were actually advertising and doing a 4-minute segment on the Kim Commandos show. But then in January of 2020, we actually started this show, and of course we thinking, well, in 2020 we added WCNO, and we also this year we've been streaming to Facebook for several years, and this year we added our YouTube stream, so you guys can watch this show and hear the show, and see previous editions on both YouTube and Facebook. We had some people saying, "Hey, I don't use Facebook. But I want to be able to watch the show." Well, you can do that at our YouTube channel. We do have links to both of those channels over on our website, afasterpc.com. So, but definitely, getting into accounts can be tricky sometimes if you forget the username and password. And I can't tell you how many customers don't even realize that they have a username and password. Uh, you know, they set up an account, and the password is something that's used right off the beginning, um, and so with it's important though to record that, to have some way. And some people have sticky notes taped to their computer screen, and some people have piece of paper on the bottom of their keyboard, and we have customers that have a book. A lot of customers have a book right next to, kind of like an address book, but it has usernames and passwords written in it. And I've used, and I've shown you guys on the show, a password protected spreadsheet that has my usernames and passwords in it. Um, but another thing that's important is not just recording the username and password, but also making sure that you have correct information, that you have accurate information, that you have access to an email address, and have an alternate email address that you can receive emails from. Link to that email. With your accounts, it's good to have an email address linked to it. It's good to have a cell phone linked to it so that you can receive a text message with a code to reset the password if you forget the password. We've had customers that have done all kinds of crazy things. We had one customer that said, Microsoft was asking for a Microsoft account, and he didn't want to give Microsoft his information, so he used an email address that doesn't exist anymore, that he doesn't have access to anymore. He said, I'll show them. Well, a few years down the road, he needed access to that account and didn't know what his password was, and he had no way of resetting it because he had used a email address that he didn't have access to anymore. So that's not the type of slick thing that you want to do. You want to use an account that you have access to, and also just realize if you change your email address and you're using that old email address on various websites, you should log into those websites and change your email to the new email address. And this should be even a process that hopefully you do before you even switch over to the new account. But I know my dad actually has two Facebook accounts because when he was using the old his one email address, and then he lost access to that email address, so he created a new Facebook account. And this is something that he didn't. I told him, you don't have to do that. You could just log in with your old email address and your old password, and then change your email address. He said, oh, I didn't know I could do that. But he's got these two Facebook accounts, one that he used to use and stopped using, and when he lost access to the email address, and one that he switched over to. Maybe he should have called a Faster PC live technical support when he had the problem, or a Faster PC, or just call his son, uh, who could have helped him out. And we do help him out with a lot of issues, and 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 we help out a lot of our customers with issues as well. But this is an issue where we can actually help you with resolving these issues. But really, one of the things is to try to work on issues ahead of time. Try to make sure that you can actually um, have problems. If you do have an issue with a password, that you have a way that you have links to get back into the account through an email address, through a password. Those security questions, it's important to remember the security questions and the answers. I can't tell you how many times we've been working on with a customer because they didn't know what their password was. They needed to get into to an account. Maybe it's a email account, or maybe it's a Facebook account, or maybe it's an account with another provider, a Microsoft account, and they have usernames or these secret questions. What is your favorite restaurant? And they say, well, I don't know, just say Chuck's. And well, it has to match what you put. The answer has to match exactly what you put in there when you opened the account. So, for instance, if you said Chuck's. Well, it has to be. You had to have put in Chuck's, and you would have to put that in exactly. If you put in Charlie's, that wouldn't work. Or if it's Chuck's Seafood, that wouldn't work. It has to be exactly what was put in the beginning. So the usernames are important. The passwords are important. The email address and phone numbers that are linked to that account so that you can receive a text or receive an email with a code to reset the password. Those are all important. Also, having that having those questions and answers are important. And just remember, when you set up an account, it's important to remember that information. Another thing that happens quite often is when you set up your phone or a tablet. One thing that happens is people don't remember the password to their old account. So what can happen is, let's say you're in the phone store. Well, the easiest thing for the phone person to do is just create a new account. Well, that new account's not going to have any of your old data. It's not going to have any of your old apps. It's then you're going to have two accounts, and you're not going to have your old stuff. So it's very important to remember that, and don't let technicians that do the easy thing. You need to make sure that you can get into that account and set that account up just like it was before. That's the best way to do it, and that's what we do. You're listening to a Faster PC radio, heard on this station every Saturday in the 10 o'clock hour. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back for the final segment of today's show. Listen, if you want to get your computer questions answered and you haven't called in, now's your opportunity. In fact, this is your last opportunity coming up. 772-340-1590. 772-340-1590. You can also head over to our Facebook page, and you can actually, from the Facebook page, you can type your computer questions into the comment section of the live video, and we'll cover them on today's show. But you know what? You've got to get over there right now, or give us a call, 772-340-1590, so we can answer your computer questions. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. From the founding of our company, a Faster PC has provided our customers with quality service and computer products at competitive prices. We find that in the current economy, this is more important than ever. A Faster PC recently conducted a market survey and found that our prices are the least expensive in the area. Some of our competitors charge twice what we charge. Perhaps that's why more customers are turning to a Faster PC. We're helping our customers save money by repairing their computers rather than replacing them.
Now, wait a minute. You mean a Faster PC saves customers money?
A Faster PC offers the most competitive prices for computer repair in our area.
Wait a minute. Technicians that know what they're doing for less than the competition?
That's right. A Faster PC can handle anything from software installs, virus, spyware, and malware, and those annoying pop-ups, to QuickBooks, Metisoft, and SoftIn support, from wireless networks to hardware networks. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
Conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie. And on the web at afasterpc.com. Call 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
This is Brian Longworth, host of a Faster PC Radio, where we answer your computer questions for free every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. But it gets even better than that.
Now, wait a minute. How could it possibly get any better than that?
Yes, Cliff. A Faster PC has technicians standing by every Saturday ready to work on your computer.
Wait a minute. Technicians standing by on a Saturday?
Well, Cliff, a Faster PC has technicians standing by Monday through Friday for standard and emergency service, both in-shop and on-site. That means you can bring your computer to a Faster PC, or a Faster PC can come to you. And if you need computer service in a hurry, we offer emergency service both in-shop and on-site. We can handle anything from software installs, viruses, spyware, to multi-site VPN networking. Computer problems?
You need a Faster PC.
A Faster PC, conveniently located at 7186 South US 1, Port St. Lucie. And on the web at afasterpc.com. For more information, call 878-5978. 878-5978. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC.
Welcome back to a Faster PC Radio. This is the last segment of today's show. We'd love to answer your computer questions, but if you don't call, we can't answer. Give us a call. The number to have your computer question answered is 772 340 1590. 772 340 1590. Or you can hop on over to our Facebook page, A Faster PC, and actually from there, you can type your question into the comment section. So again, just a few more minutes to answer your questions. We did want to remind you also that not only can you ask your questions at the Facebook page or by calling 772-340-1590, but you can also watch the video as well. So some of the questions that I'm answering, as I answer those questions, I'll be able actually to show you the steps that you go through to resolve computer problems. And if you're not where you can watch it right now, that's fine. You can watch it at your convenience shortly after the show's over. It'll be up there on our Facebook page. You can get there one of two ways. Either go to our website, afasterpc.com. We have a link that says listen to a Faster PC radio. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Facebook page, or go to Facebook and search for a Faster PC. We also wanted to remind you that in the shop, we have technicians standing by today to work on computers and resolve computer problems. We're at 7190 South US 1, and our number in the office is 772 878 5978. And of course, we're here to answer your questions. Well, your computer questions, and we could answer other questions, but we're here specifically to answer computer questions. Computer problems? You need a Faster PC. Yes, you do, and we are back. Ready to answer your questions, ready to help you resolve your computer and technology issues. And of course, you can call. You can also text. Let me go check the live stream just to make sure whether we have any. I don't see any questions coming in there right now over on either of the live streams on Facebook or YouTube. But I'll check that. Try to check it before the show is over, and just see whether we can get that in there. Now, one thing that we have happen really probably almost every week, sometimes multiple times a week, is we see people that are responding to scams, and they're falling for scams, and and uh, and then we see other people that call us. In fact, we had one customer this past week that gave us a call because they were at a website. They said they were going to Amazon, and I'm not sure exactly how they got to Amazon, or whether they actually were at Amazon. Um, one thing we'll actually show you a little bit is just probably switch over to a full screen and actually show you how people, uh, how you should actually go to Amazon. Um, but we'll talk about that as long as we have enough time. But the issue was, she said she was at Amazon. A screen came up, and she saw, there was writing that said the computer was locked because something illegal had been detected, and there was a voice, an audible voice, that was saying that this was illegal, and the computer was locked. Call this number. And she called us up, and we were able to get into her system remotely. And even while this was happening, we were able to walk her through. We hadn't set up remote support in the past with her, so it wasn't quite as easy as if we already had our software on the computer. One thing we do when you bring your computer into a Faster PC, or we do a remote support session, we get our software installed there, which makes it easier for the next time. Well, we didn't already have our software, and she had this message, saying your computer is locked, da 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 da. And we were able to navigate, get her to navigate to a location where we could have access to the system. And and get into the system and shut down that threat, we installed our browser protection packages, um, which are plugins that actually block ads. Because what happens is you get to a site that has an ad, and she probably actually wasn't at Amazon. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but she probably wasn't actually at Amazon. But when you get to a page that has an ad, and if that ad is on a server that is infected, that ad can actually be infected. And when that ad is infected, then you can have malicious things happen, such as a screen that pops up that says your computer has been locked and call this number. Well, we got that cleaned up. We ran scans. We made sure that her computer was cleaned up. And by the way, we offer a managed services plan where customers can pay a certain amount a month, and we provide remote support for that cost, and also in shop the labor part of a computer repair in the shop. And we also provide where updates where we're 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 installing updates to Windows and other programs such as Firefox and Chrome and Zoom, to make sure that those programs and applications are installed, and not just installed, but that if they are installed, that they're updated, because there are 0-day threats that can actually be exploited by hackers once they're discovered. And it's important, vitally important, to get those updates installed on a regular basis. We actually, for our managed services clients, we actually have around about every 4 hours, software runs to make sure that these applications are updated, which is just you can't get that. Well, you can't get that. You're not going to do that manually yourself. But we actually provide this, and we automate the process. So so but she opted to pay for this service. What we did the other day, which cost her $30, which was very affordable, especially And one of the things I said is it's a good thing you called us instead of the number on the screen. And you know what she said? She confessed. She said, I did call the number on the screen. She said, but the number was out of service. So what happens is these scammers, they're using legitimate services. So they might call up Ring Central and get a voice over IP phone line, or call up Uma and get a voice over IP phone line. Well, once Uma or Ring Central or Vonage or whoever they're using finds out that they're scammers, they'll shut that line down. Websites get shut down also. We In the old days, we had a customer that got hit with a ransomware. This was several years ago. Got hit with a ransomware attack, and his data was, and he tried to pay, and it was a link. This was before Bitcoin. There was a link on the site that takes him to a website. Well, the web hosting company found out that it was a scam and shut him down. But we have so many customers that fall for these scams, and you want to not fall for the scams. You want to, instead of calling the number that's on the screen, where you're going to speak to someone that you don't know, how do you know that you can trust them? Most people trust them because something popped up on their screen, and sometimes they say they're from Microsoft, sometimes they say they're from another company, but that's not really the case. So what you really need to do, in my opinion, is call someone that you trust, someone that you know. And for our customers that have been with us, we had a caller earlier that said, "Hey, I took my computer to you 20 years ago." Well, we have customers all the time, and they bring their computer in and they say, "Hey, I came here 20 years ago," and we pull them up, we punch in their name. A lot of times we still have their information in our database, and we help them out with their current problem. And but let me just show you, because actually what a lot of people do when they're going to a website is they don't actually type the address into the address bar. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to switch over to a full screen just to show you how, and I'll just double check, make sure there's no comments or no questions on the live videos, and there's not. So, but when you open up a new browser, let's say you want to go to Amazon. Well, how would you get to Amazon? Well, the best way to get to Amazon is to type Amazon.com in the address bar and hit enter. So up at the very top bar, that's the address bar. If you're going to your bank website, let's say it's Bank of America or it's PNC or Wells Fargo, you want to type the name of the bank website. Bankofamerica.com. You should know that that's the address, pnc.com. Find out what the address is and memorize it. If you can't memorize it, create a favorite or a shortcut on your desktop. But you can go right to the top, and let's say it is amazon.com you want to go to. So you can just type in amazon.com and hit enter, and this will take you to amazon.com. Now, I can almost guarantee you that you won't see a fake message coming up from this site. But what most people do is there's actually a search field, and they'll actually search for Amazon. Now, depending on your search engine, you may actually get Amazon as the top list. I'm using DuckDuckGo here. I do get Amazon as the number one result, and that's very good. However, sometimes you might be using Bing. You might be using Yahoo. You might even, we've even seen scammy things come up in the Norton Safe Search, which is provided by Ask, which, by the way, Ask is viewed as a sketchy search engine, but they're the search engine that Norton uses. They're the search engine that a lot of other antivirus companies use. You don't need to use their search engine. Just especially for websites that just type the address into the address bar. Another thing that people do sometimes is they might just type the first part of it, maybe just Amazon, and not instead of Amazon.com, and hit enter in the address bar. Well, that's going to do a search as well. And again, we see people that go out and they maybe install a map plugin. That map plugin will actually change over so that their system has a different search engine. It'll change your default search engine, and we see this happen quite often. And so people are actually, when they search for Amazon, they're not getting Amazon as the top option. They may also be getting ads that show up, and those ads again can be infected. The images can be infected, and those images that are infected can launch malicious scripts that can cause the type of problem that this customer encountered, where she went and she saw this message, and thankfully the number didn't work, but hopefully you're listening and you can realize and you can know, and so that if this happens to you, that do not call the number. The number is they're scammers, they're criminals. The people individually, and some of them, by the way, don't even know that they're working for a scam company. Some of them think they're working for a legitimate company, and so they may not physically be a scammer, but they're working for a company that is in their whole business model is to scam you and to get you separate you from your money, get you to sign up with a plan. If you were going to sign up with a support plan, would it make more sense to choose someone that you know and trust, someone that you that is reputable, someone that you can actually go and walk into their business and talk to them, someone that you can pick up the phone and talk to them, someone that hope you might have even known for years and years. Maybe they've even worked on your system years ago, but you know that they've done that. Or are you going to just use someone that you don't know that is in another country? You have no idea whether they're legitimate or not. And we're coming to the end of today's show. But if you've missed any part of this show or just want to listen to it again or watch it again, because you can do that at our Facebook page and YouTube channel, you can not only hear the show, but also see the show. And when we've described and shown you how to resolve computer problems, you can actually see that and watch it over and over again at our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. You can get it there by going to our website of fasterpc.com and clicking on the links. We're open today until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're open from 9 to 5. And next Saturday, we'll be open from 9 to 2. We want to invite you to listen to our church radio show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on WPSL. The title to tomorrow's sermon is Applying Biblical Principles to Government, Part 2. You can listen to other sermons on our church website, covenanttabernacle.com, or our church Facebook page, Covenant Tabernacle World Outreach Center. You can find a Faster PC's Facebook page and YouTube channel by searching for a Faster PC on Facebook and YouTube, or by going to our website and clicking on the links. While there, you can actually watch the show, not only hear the show, but also watch the show and see the steps that we go through to actually resolve computer problems. A Faster PC is conveniently located at 7190 South US 1 on the east side of US 1, just north of Rio Mar. We're also on the web at www.afasterpc.com. Again, that's afasterpc.com. And you can reach us at 772-878-5978. Again, 772-878-5978. Computer problems?
You need a faster PC.
First Timothy 2 instructs us to pray for those who are in authority over us. In America, we not only have the right to pray, but also the right and responsibility to vote. How do you know which candidate will uphold biblical values, though? FloridaVotesValues.com now has local voter guides available in several counties. Visit FloridaVotesValues.com to learn where the candidates stand on life, liberty, marriage, sex ed, transgender bathrooms, taxes, the Second Amendment, critical race theory, defund the police, and more. Again, visit FloridaVotesValues.com.